Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to Who'd Win and Why. And this time we got battle of the two villainous face-colored guys. We got Black Mask going up against Red Skull. Now, some of you may have noticed that for this episode, the lighting looks a little weird, or maybe not weird, but like it looks very different from like the last few episodes. And the reason for that is because I'm actually filming this at nighttime right now, or like at least when it's dark outside. And generally, what I do is I have like light shine on my face, and like I have a completely black background. You're not really able to see my face now because of that, and actually something's a bit wrong with my lighting. The background isn't even all that black anymore, but this is really like the best I can do right now. I really only film whenever I have time. Sometimes it's during the day, sometimes it's not. This time it's not, so this is the best I can do, just to get you guys the episodes earlier. But let's just move on with the episode. So, who'd win and why? Let's find out. So first I'm going to talk about Black Mask. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys don't know who Black Mask is. Basically, who he was is that he was a child who burned his parents, and he inherited the entire family fortune and like his own like cosmetics company because that's what his parents owned. However, at one point he was forced to resign from his own company. That company was bought out by Wayne Enterprises, and now as an adult, Black Mask wants to get revenge on Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. So who is Black Mask? Black Mask, like, what can he do? Black Mask does not have any special powers. He is a guy with an average level of strength, speed, agility, durability, endurance, and reflexes. He's basically a normal man. However, he is a very smart man. He has been said to be one of the best crime bosses in all of Gotham, like one of the best strategists and crime bosses in basically the entire city, which is really saying something. What else about him? So he does work a lot behind the scenes. Generally what he does is he like organizes like groups and like henchmen to do his dirty work for him. Generally he's just a crime boss, though he is very capable of fighting whenever he needs to. Generally what he's been able to do is actually go toe-to-toe with Nightwing and Batgirl and Red Hood and other martial artists that are like really high up there, or like people that are really good when it comes to fighting skill. And at least on one occasion he was able to go toe-to-toe with Batman, and even if it's just one occasion, even though I believe it's more, that's really impressive. You know, Batman is like one of the best martial artists in all of fiction. He's mastered every single martial art known to man on this planet. That is crazy. Just even being able to stand up to the guy, let alone actually go toe-to-toe with him, that's crazy. That's really insane to think about. Black Mask, when it comes to armor, he doesn't actually have any armor with him, like anything that protects himself. When it comes to weapons, however, now that's a different story. He always carries 2 semi-automatic pistols with him, and he actually does have some like little small kitchen knives or pocket knives with him whenever he needs to like get a good stab in, which is very good for actually killing people that don't have any armor, or that don't that are like just regular humans. Like himself. So that's pretty handy whenever he needs it. He does go fist to fist a lot as well. Whenever it's just like a general combat, he can go fist to fist. As I said, he's fought Batman. Batman does obviously have some gadgets, though probably when it's like a real fist to fist fight, Batman doesn't use any of them. But like I said, still standing up to Batman, very impressive. One of the best things about him, like one of his best things in his inventory, is actually his own mask, because his mask that he wears, the Black Mask, is actually laced with a very deadly a very deadly cosmetics product, something that if it gets on your skin, you are actually going to die within 30 seconds. It can kill a grown man in 30 seconds or less, and that is very impressive. That's almost kind of like an instant kill move. Hashtag OP. But anyway, that's something that he has. That's something that he actually has basically with him all the time. That is on his Black Mask, and is something that he can pretty much use whenever he wants. If it gets on someone else's skin, they're toast. Unless they have like some sort of like special resistance to it, they're pretty much toast. But those are the best things. Those are the main things about Black Mask. Basically, just to go over it, he's a normal man, but he's extremely intelligent, and he's an extremely good fighter. He doesn't have too much experience fighting, but he certainly can whenever he wants to, and he does have some weaponry whenever he needs to. Oh, just another fun fact. This guy apparently has been able to shoot a batarang out of the air, and we know how fast Batman can throw those things, and he's able to actually shoot people when people like Nightwing. They are armored, so they will survive, but, like Nightwing and Red Hood that are actually very agile. So his aim is pretty good. He's a very good marksman. He's like an expert marksman. So, sorry, I just forgot about that. Just decided to throw that in there. But now let's talk about Red Skull. Now, most of you probably know who Red Skull is. If you don't, let me just give you a rundown of who he was. So basically, he is a Nazi. He was Hitler's right-hand man in World War II, and during that time, he fought Captain America and Bucky. However, he was presumed to be dead in World War II, but I believe it was like some sort of like experimental gas that he was exposed to allowed him to survive through like decades or something like that. Similar, like it's not how like he didn't freeze in like an ocean like Cap or Bucky, but he was still able to survive like they did. Wow, that's very convenient. But anyway, moving on to what Red Skull can actually do. So obviously he's known by his iconic skull, which is, just actually his face. I'm not sure, was it like burned off or something? I don't exactly know how he got that, but I know it's not actually like a mask or a helmet or anything. I don't believe it is anyway. Then I really like got something wrong. But I forget exactly how. I think it was through some sort of like burning or something like that. Don't really know how, but that's not the point of what I'm trying to talk about right now. Just getting a bit off topic. So like Black Mask, Red Skull is just a normal human with average level strength, speed, durability, all that stuff. However, like Black Mask, he is a pretty good fighter. Generally, he's said to have like a fine level of combat training. He was able to train other people, like other Nazis in the war, to actually fight. So he is pretty good at fighting. He's not up to the level of Batman or even Captain America. Just another quick note: some of you may know Red Skull as when he was in his cloned body, which was when he actually got like the strength and speed limits and everything like that rivaled Captain America. I'm not going to be using that version of Red Skull for two reasons. One of them is that it makes this battle a lot more fair. Honestly, I can tell you that if this was the other body, then Red Skull would 100% win, because he has a counter for pretty much everything that that Black Mask could throw at him, and the second part is he's basically immortal. Technically through cloning and through like repairing the body, he technically is immortal. So just make sure that no questions are left unanswered. I'm just not going to be using this version of Red Skull. He's like so much stronger than him, so much faster. It wouldn't be fair. So I'm just going to be using the regular version of Red Skull, which is just him in his regular body. Just like I said, average level strength, speed, durability. I'm using that version of Red Skull in case some of you were wondering about that. Some of you may not even know what I'm talking about, but whatever. Just thought I'd mention it. So when it comes to fighting skill, he has a fine level of fighting skill. In his clone body, he was actually able to stand up to Captain America like really well. Like it was pretty much like an even match. He is still able to fight Captain America, but he's not near the level of he is, or maybe he is kind of near, but not really up to the level of Captain America's fighting training. Again, he was able to train Nazis in the war, but he's still not overly good, but he is still really good. He's far above like a regular human when it comes to a level of fighting training who hasn't really been trained. What else about Red Skull? Generally, when it comes to weapons, he doesn't have that many weapons with him. He doesn't carry as much as Black Mask would. I'm not trying to compare them or anything like that, but he doesn't carry all that much. Sometimes he's seen carrying a gun, sometimes he's seen not having any weapons at all. I'm just going to give him a gun this time just because it's the one that I find that he has most often when he has some sort of weapons with him. But his main weapon that he has is his Dust of Death. Now, this is something that can be fired from a rigged or like a modified handgun, and if you actually inhale this dust, it's kind of like the Joker toxin. If you inhale it, instead of like laughing yourself to death, you will actually, I think, like your face turns red and like you lose all your hair, so it's actually like you look like a Red Skull kind of guy, and you die. So it's again like another OP type thing. Pretty much like if it happens, you're pretty much toast. So that's another thing in his inventory. Like Black Mask, he doesn't have like any armor or anything like that. No special armor. Again, like regular level durability. Just thought I'd say that. He is very smart in many different fields of study, and he is a pretty good combatant, as I said, like a fighting combatant. When it comes to experience, he's fought a lot of different people over the years. Like he's basically fought all of the Avengers. Well, maybe not like actually fought them, but he's had to like face all of the Avengers. Generally though, when he's doing this, he is teaming up with other villains, and whenever he's by himself, generally it's when he's fighting Captain America. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. But even so, just to say that I fought the Avengers with some other villains, that's still very amazing. That's something incredible to say. Not trying to like compare these two yet, even though I kind of am, but like, you know, like nothing that really Black Mask can say, you know, like I've fought the entire Justice League. So that's something to keep in mind. What else about him? That's really all I really need to say about Red Skull. Like, he has a lot of fighting training. You guys pretty much all know Red Skull anyway, you know, like he has a lot of fighting training, but he is just a regular human. He has fought Captain America. He's like the general enemy of Captain America, though he's not to the same level when it comes to fighting skill as him. And he is extremely intelligent when it comes to strategy and just general book smarts, you know, in many different fields of study. So that's really all I feel I have to say about these two characters. Now trying to figure out who would win. Now this is actually a much closer fight than many of you may think. They actually are tied in a lot of different areas, and some of you may be thinking, well, you know, this is a stupid fight. You only decided to do this because, you know, like it's they have different color faces. Well, actually, there is a lot of similarities between these two. They're both regular people who do have different colored faces, and they're low on armor. They don't have any armor. They're a bit low on weapons, and you know, they're regular people who are extremely smart and just trying to make their way in the world. I don't know. But anyway, they do have more in common than you may think. They both have the same levels of like strength, speed, durability, maybe a bit different, but again, nothing really to notice or nothing really to mention, because I don't even know if they are different in any way. I don't really know if they're the same. But again, like both average levels of strength, speed, durability, nothing really that I need to like research or anything like that. And when it comes to their weaponry, again, like, you know, they both have some sort of weapons with them. Going a bit deeper on the weaponry, when it comes to their actual like one-hit kill stuff, I'm going to be removing that from the equation, because if I don't, I would basically be ending this this episode with basically saying either one can win. It's just basically who gets lucky, and that's technically what it is. If I was giving them their one-hit kill stuff, you know, like the skin product or the dust of death, you know, either one could really win. It just depends on who gets lucky or who's able to do it first. So that's or really, like, if I was using their guns, it could be like who could like shoot each other first. So really, like in any case, if I don't like remove that kind of stuff from the equation, it's I can't really say who I think would win. So I'm just going to remove this from the equation. In a real fight, they probably would have their stuff. So again, it's really based on who would get lucky. But in case you want to know like who really has more advantages, I'm just going to remove that from the equation, just to make things simpler for me and simpler for you guys to understand. So really, when you factor in that they're both regular people who like, and they don't have any like one-hit kill stuff or anything like that, really there's only 4 categories that I find are left. One of them is smarts and strategy, or intelligence and strategy. Another one is fighting skill. Another one is versatility. And lastly, we have experience. So that's 4 categories. And some of you may disagree with me, and if that is the case, then, you know, that's fine. Comment down why or whatever. Just don't say, like, oh, I think this person should win because he's my favorite or whatever. You know, that's not a good argument. But anyway, so in those 4 categories, I think Black Mask takes them. And again, some of you may disagree, but some of you may not know who Black Mask is anyway. So let me just please explain why I believe that this is the case. When it comes to smarts and strategy, this one was very close, but I had to give it to Black Mask simply because he's been said to be like one of the best crime bosses and one of the best strategists in all of Gotham. And we're talking about, like, Gotham is where Joker is, Penguin is, Riddler is, Batman is, you know, all these great strategists. So to say that, like, he can actually, like, he can rival them at the very least, that's crazy. You know, just saying, like, you're one of the best strategists in all of Gotham, that really means that you're really good at strategy and you're a really good crime boss. When it comes to Red Skull, yes, he is really smart, but usually it comes to like different fields of study. He is a very good strategist, which will help him in the fight, and that's why this is very close. But because most of where he's smart actually like is more like book smarts, and pretty much like Black Mask has been able to outsmart Batman at times, and he can call himself one of the best crime bosses in all of Gotham. You can take like anything that I say with a grain of salt, just because it's what other people have said about him and what he said about himself, Black Mask. But I have to give the slight edge to Black Mask, but that area was very close. When it comes to fighting skill, this one's kind of a no-brainer. Black Mask can stand up to Batman. He can fight Batman really, really well, and other characters, like other people that Batman has trained and are like near the level that Batman is. And Red Skull has a hard time fighting Captain America. Well, maybe not a hard time, but he's not up to the level as Captain America is, and we all know how Batman versus Captain America ended in the death battle. Spoilers, by the way. Probably should have said that a bit earlier. But anyway, that's not really a competition. Black Mask takes that area. And because neither of them have, like, any armor or any case, it doesn't really, if Red Skull did have some armor, it might give him a better edge when he's saying, like, oh, we could take Black Mask punches a bit better. But because neither of them have any armor, it's like, I can't really say that. When it comes to versatility, this one, again, kind of a no-brainer. At the very best, Red Skull would really only have his gun and the Dust of Death, even though I'm removing that from the equation. Black Mask, on the other hand, he has 2 guns. He always has 2 semi-automatic pistols with him, and he has different knives that he has, which, like I've said before, is a very good tool when you're trying to fight someone who has no armor and who's a regular person. Like Red Skull, whenever, like, he wants to go for the kill, he has a knife with him. He has, like, a pocket knife. He has a kitchen knife. Whenever he really needs it, he can use it. And like I said, like, Black Mask's, like, his quick draw is able to, like, shoot a batarang out of the air. That's insanely good reflexes. And you have, like, a very good level of, like, marksmanship if you're able to shoot, like, someone who's very acrobatic, like Nightwing, who is one of the Flying Graysons. If you're able to shoot that guy, that's very, very insane. So again, I have to give that that edge to Black Mask. Now, experience. Some of you guys are going to completely disagree with me on this one, and honestly, you could give either person the edge in this. You could say that for the thing is that you could say that Red Skull has more experience because he's fought more people. He's like gone face to face with more characters, and that is true. He has overall like faced more characters. Like with help of other supervillains, he's fought Hulk and Thor and Cap and Iron Man and many different members of the Avengers, and he has like fought in the war, so he has had a lot of experience doing multiple things. However, Black Mask has done a lot of that stuff but on his own. He's fought Batman by himself. Whenever he's actually doing, and even though he does have henchmen and goons to do what he wants to do, like little things, whenever he's actually fighting, he's fighting by himself. He doesn't have any help from anyone else. He's fighting Batman head to head with no one else, Nightwing with no one else. He's just doing it all by himself. Whereas when Red Skull is by himself, he's generally fighting Captain America and losing. Either that, or like he's behind the scenes and like toying with the Avengers, and whenever the Avengers find him, again, kind of like Batman in a sense, like with the Batman villains. Like, whenever, like, Batman finds Riddler, it's over. Whenever Batman, like, finds Joker, it's over. Well, not really, because Joker's, like, a good martial artist as well, but that's not the point. The point is, like, whenever Red Skull is by himself and, like, facing a ton of, like, superpowered people, he's behind the scenes. And whenever he's actually fighting, he's fighting Captain America. And then whenever he's actually, like, fighting, like, all the members of the Avengers, he has a ton of other supervillains to help him. And that's something that Black Mask can say, like, oh, I fought, but without them. I fought someone who's much better at hand-to-hand combat by myself. You lose to someone who's much worse at hand-to-hand combat, Captain America, by yourself. You lose to that person a ton of times. And yes, he does have, like Red Skull does have a lot of experience fighting multiple people, like probably more people than Black Mask has, to be honest. But still, Black Mask has just done so much by himself. In this, because again, you could say that Red Skull has more experience because of what I said, and you could say that Black Mask has more experience because of what I said. But in a fight like this, a one-on-one encounter with no prep time, you kind of have to give the experience edge to Black Mask just because of the sort of fight this is. So, in my opinion, the winner is Black Mask. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give this video a like. Comment down below everything you thought of it, maybe what I got wrong, what I missed, who you think would win in a fight like this. Please tell me in the comments below. And subscribe to my channel if you could. That'd be nice. That would really help me out. And, you know, why not? That's really the only way that I judge my self-worth. No, but honestly, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching my episodes. I know that generally these are coming out at a slower pace nowadays, but it's just because of school. I'm trying to get everything done. You know, school always comes first. I'm in high school. It's pretty tough. But, you know, I'm still trying to get this out as quickly as possible. This was literally the quickest I could get this out for you guys. So, you know, I just hope that it's not too late for any of you guys. But anyway, guys, again, like, comment, subscribe if you could. Show your appreciation by clicking that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Who'd Win and Why. And next time on Who'd Win and Why, we got Green Goblin for the 5th time, and he was literally in the last episode, going up against Jack-O-Lantern. See you guys then.